I got a really good question yesterday from somebody I was working with, and I'm going to spend some time and a few more videos on it, but it has to do with communication and how do we communicate with each other, with our partners, with our children, with our friends and family, when we are not seeing eye to eye on a situation, when we are all triggered and stressed and overwhelmed. How do we get together and have those difficult conversations about what's happening, what's going on, where we're going, what we're doing? And especially if we are not looking at a situation from the same lens. If your partner is coming from a completely different perspective than you are regarding, well, any situation, but in this particular situation is during this pandemic. So I think it was a really good question, and I'll talk some more about it. But from an awareness perspective, the first thing I'd like for you to consider is, what is my intention with this conversation? So the two bookends that I like to provide is, what is my intention is one of the bookends, and then what is my desired outcome? So if you have those two bookends, like my intention for this conversation is to get some clarity about how we structure our day. Let's just say that, right? And then my desired outcome might be so that we can have more peace and more order and have a sense of completion by the end of the day. Let's just call it that. I'm making it up. But you can have your intention and your desired outcome that fits in your situation. So you start there, and that's what where you start from. That's the beginning. And I also want to invite you to have those type of conversations when you are less triggered, less inflamed, in a more calm centered place. Because when we are triggered, our nervous system is in a flight, freeze, or fight mode, and that usually is not our best and highest self. And it can be difficult to have clarity and state facts and be reasonable, right? So being intentional is always a good start. And then looking at, what is my desired outcome for a conversation? And then you can start there. Like, what is our intention for this conversation today? Okay, we're talking about homeschooling today. Okay, we're talking about, is it safe to be out working for one of us who is still having to go to the office, for example? Like, how do we handle that situation? Well, let's talk about it. Let's look at the desired outcome. When we leave here today, when we leave this conversation today, what is the one thing that we need to solve? What is the one feeling we want to leave here with? What is the one important decision that we need to make, for example? So those are the two things that you can start with. Start the conversation there and take it step by step. Take it slow. Right? We're already heightened in our nervous system. We're already heightened because of all the stress and the confusion and the unknowns. So the one thing that we need to count on is each other, and finding that comfort in our partner, in our family. And your kids are going to be looking to see how you are acting and behaving and resolving your levels of stress and how you're communicating with each other. So, whatever you feed your children is, and what you teach them, it's not just about homeschooling them now. It's teaching them how to communicate, how to deal with difficult conversations, how to resolve conflicts. They're watching you and they're learning. They're being homeschooled right now, not just with the topics that the teachers are giving them, but what you are showing them at home as well. So I hope you find this a little helpful. Stay tuned for my next tips. I just want to get you started to think about, what is my intention when you have a conversation? You have a meeting. What's my intention for the meeting? What is the desired outcome? So start with those bookends and have conversations when you are more calm, cool, collected, and you can speak in facts versus fantasy or feelings. Feelings are okay, of course, and I would never say don't feel your feelings, but it's your job to handle your feelings. When we give our feelings away, when we project them onto another person, then we're not taking responsibility. That's in the next video. Start there, bookends, intention, desired outcome, talk, have conversations when you are in a grounded place. Hope this helps, and I'll talk to you soon. Stay safe, my friends.